You already saw the thumbnail, so you know you can trust the process. Let's get into these no grip, medium sized feed in braids with the charms. So I started by sectioning off my hair, and then I was thinking about, how many braids did I want at the bottom. I decided to go with 3. The parting is going to be the most precise part. And so I did decide to go ahead and pre-part my whole head. And then I went in and I put a rubber band around my hair, making a lot of little ponytails basically. Now this no grip method is really good for if you have short hair, if you have long nails like me and it's harder to grip when you have these long nails. But yeah, so you can really use this method just out of convenience if you want to. And it's also great for pre-parting if you have these larger size braids to just go ahead and get it done. The products that I am using is this Eben braid formula. Y'all, you already know I mess with Eben real heavy. So that's what I use to make my parts like extra crisp and clean. And I have the one that has like the hint of peppermint, so it like make your scalp feel all tingly and stuff. It's really nice. And also it's not like so thick, so I actually haven't been experiencing any breakage in my hair either. And y'all, your girl is, I want to say I'm at like 6.5 months right now in this video after shaving my head completely bald. Go back and watch those videos if you haven't, okay? Because the journey has been real. I talk about how I get my length retention, keep my hair nice and moisturized, all of the things. But after I do each row, I basically go in, look at it with my mirror, make sure everything is right how it's supposed to be. After those bottom 2 rows, I go ahead and I make like that crescent part across the top of my head. And this is just gonna help me keep all the rows even and doing everything that I need to do. So you want to make sure that you part off that curvature so that you can get everything nice and crisp and it don't start getting real weird at the top, okay? And then I went in with my Eben and I just looked at the part, made sure it was nice and straight. I was like, okay, it's not perfection, but that's okay because guess what? I did it myself. So it was inexpensive. And so then I went ahead and I started making my parts to go across. What you see me doing here is taking out these edges because baby, one of the whole points of me shaving my head from the beginning was so that I could grow my edges back. So I don't play no games. So I just start taking them out, smoothing them down, getting them styled, all that type of stuff. And then I go ahead and I continue to put in the rubber bands. And what you see me doing here is making sure that I rub the product, like pull the product through my hair. And that's because you want the ends of the hair that you have to be kind of like just together, like pointy, I guess, because you don't want it to be all puffy. It's going to start making it a challenge when you go to blend your hair when you're feeding in these braids. So this is the whole situation. You can see the difference between when it's left puffy and when I pull the product through. I wanted y'all to see that. So I am going to pull the product through when I'm braiding it. But yeah, so you see my edges, they're already pulled out so they will not be, messed with. I make sure I still have edges when I'm done with this style, okay? Now let's get into the install. So you're going to take your crochet needle and you're going to slide it up under that braid. And then you're going to go ahead, you're going to get your pre-parted hair. I like to pre-part my hair for this style. And then you're going to close it and you're going to pull that hair through. Why is this doing this to me? Okay, boom. You're going to go ahead and you're going to pull the hair through like so. Gently, not causing too much tension. And also what helps reduce the tension, even when you're using the rubber band method, you don't have to put the rubber band so tight. You just want it to be secure. You don't have to make it like super tight. And now I'm going in with a little more product, like I said, to make sure it's nice and slick. This is going to help with the blending. And then I am going to get that other piece of hair. So now I have a second piece of hair. I'm wrapping it around that rubber band and then I'm just starting to braid it down. So that first piece of hair that I crocheted in, I use that to put a piece of hair on top and a piece of hair on bottom of my hair. So I used both of those 2 strands for that one piece of hair, and then I grabbed my other piece of hair that I wrapped around the rubber band, and that's how I created my 3 legs of hair, if you will. And then I go ahead and I just start braiding it all the way down. Ooh, 40 days and 40 nights later, the rubber band is covered up. So that's the key to covering up that rubber band. You want to make sure you're wrapping that additional piece of hair around it. So here I am just going and showing you guys how I do it again. You see how I have my hair that has the product in it. And then I'm going to show you how I just use a latch hook. I mean, I feel like, don't we all know how to use a latch hook up by now? But maybe it's your first time, so no judgment here. This is a video for beginners, definitely. So after I get my latch hook in place, after I put the hair in, then you see I'm going to be putting this hair together. You see how I gripped it like that? Then I'm going to put this hair around that rubber band, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to start braiding. So you want to just make sure you do that wrap around to cover up that rubber band. Now, when you are feeding in the hair, the pieces should be smaller than what you first started with. So I showed you the original piece, and then I showed you the piece that was smaller. So as you're adding in the additional hair to continue to make the braid longer, and at that connecting point where basically your hair ends and the extension hair continues, you want to add in a little more hair. Like, that's a pivotal place to add hair. Where your hair stops and that extension hair keep going, add some hair right there. Trust me. But you want to make sure it's not as thick or as dense as that original strand of hair that you were using from the beginning. It's time to add the charms. Okay, so you need to open these up. You can see there's like a little space, right? So you just spread that open, and then you go to your braids, you find a little place, and then you just clamp that joint on. Boop. You squeeze it and make it tight. Make sure you make it tight enough so it's not going to just like slide off. I like to stagger them around, so that's what I do. But I feel like adding these charms to your braids, it really just gives it such a like pop. My husband actually loves when I add these charms to my braids. So I'm gonna have to do it more often, but I only do it when I do this size of braids, and I don't often, most of the time, do my hair this large. So yeah, but they're super cute. This is just another pack of charms that I have. I've gotten all these charms from like my local hair supply store. Now for these, there's like a little loop, and you just kind of open that loop up, and then you're going to hook it into the braid, and then you're going to close the loop. Yeah, I was like struggling a little bit because I want to make sure you could see what I was doing. So you're going to push it through, and then you're going to like close the loop. It's basically like a keychain. Treat it like a keychain, and the star is the like charm or whatever on the keychain, or it would be the key on the keychain, but that's basically what it is. Yo, why is it strugglish like this? Okay, boom, I got it through. And so then I'm gonna just like close the loop back. I will say these are so cute, but they definitely like were snagging on the other braids, so it was a situation. After that, I decided that I would go in and add a little boho. I have a whole video about how to turn your boneless braids into boho braids, or, you know, your regular braids into boho braids. Maybe you already had your braids in for a little bit. You just want to add a little razzle dazzle, whatever your situation is. You could just use a crochet needle to go in. You go through the braid like so. Then you're going to hook that hair on, that boho hair, close it, pull it through. You're going to make your knot like you normally would. And then you're going to go slightly down the braid. You're going to push the hook through again. And then you're going to pull that hair through again. This is how you secure it. You don't have to double knot it, triple knot it, all the other type of stuff. Tie it once, wrap it around, and then pull it back through. And then pull it. Okay, Crystal, what's really going on here? And then pull it back through. I guess the hair was thick, the braid was thick. I don't know. I'm trying to close the latch. It's these nails, y'all. What's really going on? Boom. There we go. Pull it back through. And once you pull it back through, it's going to be secure. It's not going to slip out at all. Okay? After we do all that, I'm going to get my braid formula mousse even again, and I'm going to apply it to my hair. I was like, oh snap, I'm running out of mousse. I need more mousse. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it in. This is also going to help with the boho hair that I put in there, because I've been using synthetic boho hair. Like, I'm not spending a bunch of money on the hair that I'm using for braids. One, I changed my hair too much. Two, I feel like braids are supposed to be an inexpensive, low maintenance style, okay? You're going to want to make sure that you run your fingers all through the hair. This is going to help make sure like any of the scraggly boho pieces and all of that come out, so you don't have shedding later on. So that's what you see me doing here. It was a little tricky with the charms, I'm not gonna lie. But y'all, look at how cute my hair turned out. I literally love it so much. It's so cute. I'm definitely gonna end up doing my hair like this again, because I loved it. My husband loved it. I like it even more when I put it to the side like this. This style, it wasn't super quick, but it wasn't like treacherously long. But yeah, it's super cute. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can continue to see my hair growth journey, my protective styles, the tips, tricks, and hacks that I have for styling your hair. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.